From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News, a newscast to focus on sustainability in the state of Arizona. I'm Katrina Arroyos. Cronkite News is committed to bringing you these stories, from providing water and energy to our state to protecting our resources and environment. Over the past 2 months, our news team has filed reports on power sources and wildlife, new research and innovation, and a variety of community efforts to go green. Tonight, we invite you to stay with us as we look back on this key issue for Arizona's future.
Fossil fuels such as coal and natural gas are proven to pollute the air. Cronkite News reporter Sydney Schumann is here. Sydney, how is the Environmental Protection Agency trying to reduce these harmful emissions?
Well, in June, the EPA put out a draft of their Clean Power Plan, which could cause fossil fuel power plants nationwide to shut down. The Clean Power Plan doesn't specifically require fossil fuel power plants to shut down, but sets carbon emission reduction goals for each state.
The concern we have about this particular plan is it's asking Arizona to do a lot very quickly.
Arizona needs to reduce its emissions by 52% by the year 2020.
The targets for Arizona are so aggressive the way they're currently proposed. They essentially would force you to shut down your coal plants and possibly some of the natural gas sooner rather than later.
According to a study by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality and the Corporation Commission, forcing Arizona to reduce its emissions in such a short amount of time could cost the state $3 billion.
A lot of our energy needs can be met through reducing energy use with efficiency measures.
Sandy Barr with the environmental group The Sierra Club says the state needs to look to other options.
Doing a little bit more to clean up the air, reduce emissions that cause climate change. In the end, it will save us money.
But Montalvo says Arizona already has clean air and it continues to get cleaner.
Over the last 20 years, more than 80% reduction in sulfur dioxide emissions, probably about half in nitrogen oxide emissions. Carbon emissions has been a little bit slower path, but we've made some good improvements there as well.
The EPA took in millions of public comments through December and is currently in the process of reviewing them in order to develop a finalized plan sometime this summer. But Arizona will not be able to start creating its own implementation plan right away. That's because state lawmakers need to pass a bill giving the Arizona Department of Environmental Equality the explicit authority to do so. Live in the broadcast center, Sydney Schumann, Cronkite News.
With levels of CO2 in our atmosphere rising at record numbers, researchers at ASU have developed a system to reduce this problem. Cronkite News reporter Selena Bussey found out what type of technology the Center for Negative Carbon Emissions is working on.
We are in a way already too late.
Dr. Klaus Lackner is referring to the latest report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. He's the director of the Center for Negative Carbon Emissions at ASU. His latest research project, reduce the amount of carbon in our atmosphere.
The most straightforward and direct way is to pull CO2 back out of the air. Now a growing tree does that, and we aspire to do the same thing, and we can do it at a scale which is much faster than a tree.
Lackner says the type of carbon dioxide collector his facility builds collects about 1,000 times more CO2 per day than a real tree. While the technology in Dr. Lackner's facility is still in its research stage, there are always risks that come with this type of research.
If things start from a laboratory scale and get huge, there's always something you are likely to have overlooked. On the other hand, I think the risk of not doing something is much, much, much higher.
With risk being a factor in this technology, some say without it, losses in Arizona could be huge.
When we look at the temperature increases that we're talking about, potentially by 2070, maybe even before that, Arizona becomes uninhabitable.
Burns says finding a solution is critical to our ecosystems.
These ecosystems will not be able to support humans in the future.
Lackner says there isn't an immediate solution to this crisis, but awareness is ultimately key.
Every carbon you put out has to be taken back, right? For every ton of carbon coming out of the ground, another ton has to go back, right? That awareness is ultimately critical.
The center says their biggest challenge has been funding. However, they plan to have an outdoor operating system in the near future.
It's the latest effort by one of the Valley's more progressive cities to improve our environment. Cronkite News reporter Sunny Scott tells us how Tempe is now offering a new rebate program to help Arizona and to put a little more money back in your wallet.
Like most of us, Volcranic counts on an irrigation system to keep his fruit trees watered, but it's not like any other watering system. This water comes from his own laundry machine.
Basically, what we do is we wash our clothes, and then when we're done with the water, we put it into our landscape.
Laundry water is referred to as gray water, which is clean wastewater from washing machines and showers.
There are Tempe residents that are already utilizing it just because they understand the benefits of conserving water.
Volcranic got the idea from a workshop he attended with the nonprofit Watershed Management Group, which teaches people sustainable living practices, and now Tempe is offering a $200 equipment rebate to convince more residents to take the plunge. Just as you're about to put a load in, use this all-natural laundry detergent, hit the start button, and switch the gray water valve to plants, and you'll be helping the environment and also reducing your water bill.
I would say it's probably about $20 less a month.
Volcranic likes helping the environment. His gray water pipe leads from out of the laundry room on the side of the house to a garden, where it waters his fig and orange trees.
So the laundry machine typically is one of the easiest sources to tap into.
What makes this gray water irrigation system so beneficial to the plants is how much water the soil traps. It's also important to only use natural laundry detergent. Other detergents can be harmful to the plants.
Saving that water, anything we can do to save that water and help out our city and our environment is a great thing.
So the next time you're about to put a load in, remember you could be spending a lot less money and taking your part in helping the environment. In Tempe, Sunny Scott, Cronkite News.
One of the last flowing rivers in the Southwest, the Verde River in central Arizona, is a very important water source for millions of people. As Jason Holmes reports, new federal grant awarded to the Verde River will go a long way in conservation efforts.
The Verde River is getting additional protection thanks to a $2.8 million grant from the U.S. Natural Resources Conservation Service. The money will dramatically improve agriculture as well as water conservation efforts along the river.
Ensuring that we have a reliable source of water in the Verde River not only benefits the communities along the river and the farmers, but it also provides water for the people living in the Valley of the Sun.
The 5-year plan for the Verde NRCD is to improve irrigation efficiencies on 370 acres of agricultural land, and at the same time to improve wildlife habitat in the Verde River.
Many farmers and landowners will be moving away from flood irrigation and converting to more efficient drip irrigation systems. Solar panels are also being put in place to control the amount of water flowing through irrigation ditches. This ensures that farmers only use what they need, thus keeping more water in the river.
For me, it's important in terms of heritage. I think it's important that in rural areas we still have that connection to the land, and also that we have a sense of stewardship and we have a responsibility for keeping rural economies intact.
The partners in the Verde Initiative believe that this project will benefit both people and nature and will also help change the course of conservation in Arizona.
The fight for endangered species is an ongoing battle. The states of Arizona and New Mexico share a common battlefield for the Mexican gray wolf and its ability to thrive. Cronkite News reporter Ryan Hill took the trek to Reserve, New Mexico to see how this animal has raised economic concerns.
On this cold, windy morning, these groggy wolf pups are being re-released into the wild.
You can't find them out here.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service picked up these pack mates along the Blue Ridge Reserve on the Arizona-New Mexico border. The pups were shot with tranquilizer darts, picked up by helicopter, and brought to a landing area where vets checked them out, vaccinated them, and fastened on their new tracking collars.
Nationally, as a country, we've certainly decided that we want to recover these species, and locally, it's harder on folks.
Back in 1998, efforts began to bring this population back from the brink of extinction. It also began a feud between local ranchers and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, with a high price on both sides.
It's a lot in this particular helicopter operation. Most of the time, the field crews are spread out across the two-state area. You know, it's probably $100,000 on the helicopter operation.
That is just one piece of the pie. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's annual budget for the Mexican Gray Wolf Project is around $2 million. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service thinks that the re-release process of the Mexican gray wolf is going just fine.
But for members of Catron County, a sprawling ranching community located near many national forests, it has a cost that impacts them where it hurts the most.
I've lost a lot of cows and a lot of calves. Lost about 111 cows and over 300 calves. If I could have sold those cows and those calves, that would have been about $750,000.
Ranchers like Thiessen feel the Mexican gray wolf is an economic burden. The federal government is trying to ease their financial struggles with a compensation plan. Thiessen says he may have been reimbursed, but the fund did not completely cover his losses.
I'd say no. $4,500, that's 3 calves. They compensated me for 3 calves, and I lost 300 calves. If they want to run wolves on here, they should pay for everything, all the damage they do. If they don't want to pay for it, get the wolves out of here.
Thiessen bought his ranch from a family who lost their land due to economic hardships from the Mexican gray wolf and knows it can hurt the price of his land as well.
They definitely could. Well, I bought it for maybe a third of what it should have gone for. There's more wolves now than there was when I bought them.
The economic problems that surround the Mexican gray wolf may not be solved for the time being, but Oakleaf continues to iron out concerns with ranchers.
You want to work with them and try to find solutions, and so you work with the individual rancher and discuss positive solutions.
On the Arizona-New Mexico border, I'm Ryan Hill, Cronkite News.
One of the major issues surrounding the reimbursement of farms is identifying whether or not the cattle was actually killed by a wolf. The remnants of the body are usually found far too late to properly identify the actual cause.
Respected Access is Open Access is an initiative in Arizona to put an end to trigger trash. Cronkite News reporter Katrina Arroyos spoke with officials from the Department of Game and Fish to find out what shooters are expected to do to avoid contributing to trigger trash.
At the Table Mesa Recreation Area, the sound of gunfire is no surprise. And with the recreational shooting comes trigger trash, bullet casings and targets that are being left in the desert, trash that's harmful to the environment and looks like a dump site.
We don't know what all is in that trash. You're asking others to clean up things that they don't know what's in it.
And for recreational shooters like Donnie Miller, the trash is getting in the way.
It's a little disturbing. I mean, if everybody just picked up what they shot, it would be a lot cleaner out here. It's hard to walk sometimes. It's hard to, if you're gonna lay down or something like that and shoot, you got to kind of clear a path for yourself.
To help decrease the amount of trigger trash, the Arizona Department of Game and Fish, Bureau of Land Management, and Tread Lightly have teamed up to support various cleanup efforts. Volunteers will check in, receive instructions, and
For about the next 3 hours, people will be coming and going from the trash dumpsters.
The cleanup events get rid of a lot of the trash, but these departments are hoping to stop the problem before it begins, with the shooters themselves. Signs have been posted throughout the area to remind enthusiasts to pick up their trash when they are finished.
The end goal is obviously to change behavior, and whether that's, obviously that's through education and enforcement.
And Miller says there's another incentive for shooters to clean up after themselves.
There's a couple places where you could send your brass to, and they'll pay you money for them and reload for you and stuff like that, so it's cheaper on ammo.
Which is much better than the alternative of harming the environment and even receiving a citation. At Table Mesa Recreation Area, I'm Katrina Arroyos, Cronkite News.
In addition to the education aspect, some members of the Sierra Club believe gun restrictions in certain areas should be applied. You can read more details of their initiative on CronkiteNewsOnline.com.
What's the future of farming in urban areas? Some Arizona middle schoolers are among students from across the nation gathering today in Washington, D.C. to show off their plans. Cronkite News reporter Sierra Oshrin takes us to the Capitol competition.
It was part of a competition in which students had to solve an urban challenge. This year's challenge was feeding future cities. For Arizona students, water was an issue they were going to have to address.
We know there are a lot of droughts and it's really dry there, so we knew that if we were going to do a crop, we knew it had to be water efficient. So that's why we chose the prickly pear, because it doesn't require a lot of water and it's natural to our environment.
A decision that paid off in the end.
The winner is Arizona!
Though they didn't win it all, Maricopa students brought home awards for Most Sustainable Food Production System and Best Residential Zone. They said they were the only team to take home 2 awards without placing in the top 5.
Really proud of our team. They did a great job. They came away with 2 special awards this year. They really represented Arizona well. They were very passionate about the program. They really pushed the envelope with their innovation and what they came up with.
These 3 students have been working on this project since September, proving it's never too early to start thinking about the future.
Look forward to next year and seeing what they can produce next year, because every year they ramp it up even greater than they did the year before. So.
In Washington, D.C., Sierra Oshrin, Cronkite.
A tiny bug is threatening one of Arizona's 5 C's, citrus. The Asian citrus psyllid puts Arizona's multi-million-dollar citrus industry at risk. This week, the Arizona Department of Agriculture announced a small part of Maricopa County near Gila Bend is now quarantined. Ariel Rose talked to a Valley nursery about the problem.
The Asian citrus psyllid is tiny, smaller than the tip of a sharpened pencil, but it's a big problem.
It can transmit citrus greening disease, which is a bacteria that's always fatal to citrus trees.
Although the insect was discovered in the state in 2009, this is the first time it's reached Maricopa County.
That's not a surprise to Valley nursery owner Brian Blake.
Was kind of anticipating it happening.
The bug can travel easily on fruit, clippings, and on the trees themselves.
Right now I can't import trees from growers in California and that I would normally be purchasing nursery stock from. I can't purchase those trees and bring them to the state because they could possibly have the vector on the plants.
Being able to purchase trees for landscape isn't the only problem. The quarantine limits shipping fruit as well.
Since we see it now hop, skip, and jump to Gila Bend, that we know it's another hop, skip, and jump into downtown Phoenix here.
We primarily in Arizona export lemons, and lemons go from Arizona and California throughout the world, and for most all of the United States. So it would affect my livelihood as a lemon grower.
The Department of Agriculture is also worried about the impact on the economy.
You have to consider the number of jobs that are created, not only to work the citrus groves, but also the industries that support that industry itself.
This also affects the productivity of our state's $37 million citrus industry. In Phoenix, Ariel Rose, Cronkite News.
If you want more information on how to keep your own citrus trees safe from the pest, you can log on to saveourcitrus.org.
New technology is helping SRP track river and stream flow like they never could before. Cronkite News reporter Jason Holmes shows us how live cameras are giving a new perspective.
The water in the Salt River actually comes from Arizona's high country, making the trip hundreds of miles. But how much gets here depends on many factors now being studied by Salt River Project. They call their project Flotography.
As a participant in the Forest Restoration Initiative, SRP has taken an active role in developing the science used to determine baseline conditions.
Flotography is about an instrument that we developed to photograph what's happening at streams across SRP's watershed.
Lee developed Flotography 3 years ago as he wanted to make it easier for water managers to track conventional water depth data. The technology is simple and inexpensive, consisting of both time-lapse cameras and in-stream visual staff gauges. Flotography helps SRP monitor stream flow conditions and to better understand the overall watershed conditions, and that's important as that water, shown here in the Salt River behind me, winds up down in the valley. More than 100 flotography systems are now in place across SRP's watershed area, which includes the Verde and Salt Rivers. The cameras take pictures every 15 minutes, resulting in over 35,000 images per site per year.
We're currently using it to monitor baseline forest conditions and identify ephemeral stream flow activity in areas that have been never measured before.
SRP is the largest water provider to the greater Phoenix metropolitan area, so it's important for them to be able to monitor and understand their watershed, and Flotography helps them do just that.
The Super Bowl isn't the only big game this week. There's also the Waste Management Phoenix Open, but these events have more in common than you'd think. Both are trying to be as green as possible. Cronkite News reporter Selena Bussey found out what the Super Bowl and Waste Management Phoenix Open are doing to reduce the environmental impact.
Tweelon, with huge crowds coming to the valley this weekend, the effect it has on the environment is undeniable.
2 major events, 1 weekend. But how do these events maintain their reputation for being green? They say partnerships with local organizations are essential to keeping these events sustainable.
Every event that we run and everything that we do has to be done as a partnership between the NFL,
the host committee, local resources, local organizations, and that's what makes it work.
The NFL partnered with SRP, wanting to use green energy sources like wind power.
We have these giant turbines that turn the blades and generate the electricity, and then that's fed into the grid. But the good part about that is that it's renewable, there's no emissions, and it's carbon-free.
Along with the Super Bowl, the Waste Management Phoenix Open say they're committed to keeping their event green, partnering with companies that find a place for materials that cannot be recycled.
There are hard to recover materials, so we will absolutely make sure those materials go to those streams. But in the end, even those hard to recycle, or really you can't recycle them, those will go to waste to energy, which is a beneficial form of producing energy.
The Waste Management Phoenix Open has also incorporated a game to bring awareness to sustainable actions.
Attendees will spin the wheel and choose which items should be composted or recycled.
While the Super Bowl isn't 100% zero waste, they have found other ways to reuse materials.
We donate it, we reuse it, we repurpose it, we find other uses for it, whatever will keep it from going to a landfill.
Keep Phoenix Beautiful, Treasures for Teachers, and Stardust Building Supply are just a few of the local organizations these events have partnered with. Live from the Broadcast Center, Selena Bussey, Cronkite News.
Football and fun. After all the excitement last night at the Super Bowl, Arizona State University is now doing their part to help clean up after the big game. One group of ASU students headed out to Glendale today with a goal of helping last night's Super Bowl stay green. With all the people now leaving Phoenix after the Super Bowl, their trash is left behind. But ASU students and other partners are rolling up their sleeves to sort and clean up recyclables and non-recyclable items by hand in and around the stadium.
This is a great example of how ASU and its strategic partners really find these creative ways to work together. So it's taking sustainability out of the university and into the community.
Now that the Super Bowl is over, now comes the cleanup. About 20 ASU students are here at the stadium to pick up trash and recycle it in these bags. The NFL is excited to help in efforts in keeping the Super Bowl green and trying to implement a new cleaning strategy at the University of Phoenix Stadium that other stadiums already do.
Doing two sweeps, the normal sweep that the stadium always does to pick up trash, but we're doing a preliminary sweep right now where we go through the stadium and we pick up just the recyclable elements and bag all those up.
For ASU senior Sean Murray, he wasn't able to attend the game, but now gets to make a bigger impact by helping out.
Today we came out to participate in a zero waste event. We're trying to get some recycles filtered out of the main waste stream and then hopefully reduce the amount of waste that was left here at the Super Bowl.
Not only ASU students helped with the cleanup process, but volunteers from all across the valley, with Verizon Wireless being the first sustainable sponsor of the Super Bowl. Now, a sporting event this size can produce more than 50 tons of solid waste, and of that, a good amount can be recycled.
Chances are you have a few old phones lying around your house, maybe an old busted up laptop. Well, one Phoenix man has made a business out of recycling those electronics. Cronkite News reporter Selena Bussey takes us inside his tech-filled warehouse.
It's a world of computer motherboards, monitors, and mainframes. Richard Wong takes a look at this old tech junk and sees a landmine instead of a landfill.
We can take certain materials through refurbishment programs and get it back out there as a functional device.
Wong's company, E-Waste Harvesters, has a mission to recycle every electronic item taken in. Wong says if the item isn't in good enough condition to be resold, they'll take it apart and recover the valuable metals such as gold, silver, and copper.
We could do a lot more.
That's why the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has now partnered with Wong.
We run e-waste events around the state that help deter that from going to the landfill.
Shaw says that since 2009, they've run almost 100 events collecting about 2.5 million pounds of e-waste.
A lot of it's marketing and education and letting people know that it shouldn't end up in the landfill.
Wong admits better state policy would help reduce e-waste.
In Arizona, currently, we don't have those laws. There was an attempt in 2012 to pass that law. and that there's a lot of interest, but it's not the highest priority in the state of Arizona.
So until there's a more sustainable solution, Wong's Hall of Treasure is sustaining his business bit by bit. In Phoenix, Selena Bussey, Cronkite News.
Thank you for joining us for this Cronkite News Sustainability Special. We look forward to bringing you more in-depth reports and all your Arizona news. Every weeknight at 5 on Arizona PBS 8 HD. We'll leave you tonight with more of the sights and sounds of the efforts to save the Mexican gray wolves. Good night.
So I'm the IC, so that's incident commander for the project. And so make sure people are in the right spot and directing people. Make sure it's a smooth operation.
Copy that. 193, the second location you gave me was Briendo, right?
So the capturing is the plane finds a location. We call in the helicopter flies underneath the plane, gets a count of the wolf. The pilot and the darter work together to get the wolf in the right spot, and then you're firing a dart out, and then every so often it hits a wolf, and then you monitor it and it goes down.
2 darts. First one was
It can be dangerous. However, we do have very good drugs to enable us to work on the animal safely.
So you take the medical information, the measurements, the weights, and all that kind of stuff. And we get a collar on it. You do vaccines.
There can be injuries. Unlike your dog or cat or you, before we give drugs, we do not have the luxury of pre-anesthetic blood work, for instance, to know that that animal is healthy. Anything can go wrong.
Yeah, you wait for it to wake up, and once it's awake in the crate, then you take it and transport it out to as close to the location to where we captured it as we could, and put it back inside its territory, hopefully to live free for a long time.